with the medals. I can't do justice to this life, so I'll just try and spend a broad summary in a few minutes. Alan volunteered for, first of all, the Royal Navy, 1941. Bearing in mind that the Second World War was taking place, including in the Caribbean Sea, from Jamaica to Trinidad. And Alan first worked on a minesweeper, looking for mines left laid in the sea by the Germans. Alan then, finding that his chances of progressing were not great, moved on and joined the RAF. And in the RAF, it was in sort of specialist teams in sort of fast motorboats for air rescue, picking up pilots who landed in the sea, whether British or American or German pilots who landed in the seas in the Caribbean and also around Britain. Dangerous and daring work. The end of the war, Alan's based in Northern Ireland in Enniskillen, accepting the surrender of U-boats and worked just after the war, although the war in the Pacific was still going on. For his war work, Alan's got a whole bunch of medals which you can see, which are incredibly impressive. He didn't ask for any of them, he didn't pay for any of them, they weren't in sort of cornflake packets, were they? But they include the Atlantic Star, a Defence Medal, a War Medal, and an Achievement Award from the West Indian Association. It's when Alan was demoralised at the end of the Second World War and is trying to get work in London that the problems really start, really. He's seeing vacancies and going for the vacancies, and you know what's happening as a black man in London at that time. He applied for Westminster Council as a street cleaner, despite his incredible war record, but he didn't even get that job, apparently because he was not born in the borough of Westminster, unbelievably. He's 47 to 48 was a real low point when Alan finds himself having to sleep in the tube during night and during a cold winter, washing plates in a hotel. But things picked up. One thing we got from Alan is his incredible positive attitude. If one door closes, if two doors closes, if three doors closes, keep going, and finally a door will open for you. Make something of your life is Alan's philosophy. And he certainly did. And Alan was one of a black music group in the 50s called the Southlanders. He was working on the bill with people like Harry Seacombe and Bruce Forsyth and so on. First overcoming a sort of strange idea that to be a black musician you had to be an American, which was a problem in those days apparently. Alan bought a Jaguar in 1958, and so he's driving it home. I'm guessing Alan looked really smart in the sort of suits that the West Indian guys would wear in those days. Remember the pictures of my dad and so on. So Alan's driving home in his really smart Jaguar, and guess what's happening? The police are on his tail. Alan's dropping off at his home, has a little chat with the police and asks if he can help them. The police says, what do you do? Alan says, I'm a burglar, and invites them into his house. Of course, he's not really a burglar at all. But I suppose that says something about Alan's attitude towards people, really, and his attitude towards life. Alan has a really hard time in Scotland, goes up there, which is a bit of a stereotype, isn't it? But apparently it's a really rough time for the acts up there, throwing bottles if they don't like you. I'm sure they would throw bottles at Alan, and so on. Alan works in the post office, which then treated as part of the civil service. Look, that's just a very brief summary. It's an incredibly positive history of extraordinary black gentlemen who absolutely has made something of his life.